Hello, hello, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to our Santa Monica UU service today. As we all know, everyone is welcome here. As we change seasons from summer to fall, even though it may not quite feel like it, but we are getting there, autumn is coming and the leaves are in fact changing and starting to fall. Today we're going to talk about the human condition we all share, dealing with pain and loss. Pain, illness, loss are just unavoidable aspects of our human condition. We all carry a burden and we all try to carry on as best as we can. How can we help each other by not denying the pain, but by acknowledging the pain and allow ourselves and others to feel the loss, but still carry on? In my life, the best example I can give you to this are my two good friends who were trying to have children. This couple was trying for years to get pregnant and have a child. They tried all kinds of scientific ways and multiple IVF sessions. And over the years, they finally felt they just couldn't go on anymore. It was just too painful. The repetition was getting to them, and they just couldn't carry on anymore. What they did next was amazing to me. They called a group of friends together and told us that they were going to stop doing these treatments. They were okay, and they were going to move forward without having children in their marriage. And they wanted us to accept that and feel good for them. I admired them so much. They made it clear their minds were made up and they did not want to discuss this farther with us and for us to accept their decision. They found a way to move forward while accepting their loss. I'll end with a quote from Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. "The most beautiful people we have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of those depths." Come, let us worship together.
I am Kikanza Nuri-Robins, and give thanks to our worship associate, John Hart, for those lovely words. If this is your first time here, welcome. I am a member here, and I am also a consulting minister, and so I consult to congregations in Greater Los Angeles. This, however, is my home. Unitarian Universalism is a liberal religious movement that invites people from every faith tradition to come together as a community devoted to social justice. And so if social justice is on your list of things to do, you are definitely in the right place. We acknowledge that our church is built on the unceded ancestral land of the Gabrieleño Tongva people. And we acknowledge that these people, the Gabrieleño and the Tongva, still live among us and experience the pain of generational displacement and silencing. We also thank all of the people who are seen and unseen, heard and unheard, who helped to create this worship experience for us. Many of their names are listed in the order of service, and many of them are here around us. Some are very familiar faces. Others you may not know, you may not recognize, but they are welcoming. The ushers and the greeters are the first people that you see. Our sexton is here early in the morning, making sure there are places to park and all of the gates are open. We are grateful to all of them. So if someone's words or music or just their energy touches you this morning, pause a moment and tell them thank you. Tell them that you noticed. Tell them that you're glad that you were here because they were here. We light the chalice this morning with words from Keely Rhiannon. She talks about navigating loss. She says, as autumn's colors begin to emerge, the changing season mirrors the emotional transitions we experience when navigating loss. Each leaf, unique in its color and shape, drifts to the ground, becoming part of the earth once again. Similarly, each memory and moment of loss and change finds its place in the tapestry of our lives. Loss does not erase the beauty of what was, rather it becomes part of our larger story, adding depth and meaning to our experience. We invite you now to join us in our opening song and to remain standing for our covenant.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship. Thus, we do covenant with each other. El amor es la enseñanza de esta iglesia. Buscar la verdad en su sacramento y el servicio en las oración. Vivir juntos en paz. Buscar en conocimiento en la libertad. Servir a la unidad en comunión. Así es como convenimos unos a otros.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Tenhave Place, and I'm the Director of Multi-Generational Religious Education here. And right now, Theodore knows. Theodore is very excited that this is the time to collect donations for the Westside Food Bank. So if you brought a donation with you, please raise your hand, and one of our kids will come collect that from you. Thank you very much to all of my helpers out there. I think Theo brought us some canned tomatoes. See other canned food being brought. Macaroni and cheese, cereal, coffee, all of these great shelf-stable items are always good to donate to the Westside Food Bank as we support them in their mission of helping those facing hunger in our community. Thank you very much, everyone. And as we bring all of those donations back to the front, any kids who would like to join us up front for the Time for All Ages can meet me here on the steps. So once we're done with donations, let's meet on the steps. I'm glad to have so many enthusiastic friends with us today. Good morning, everyone. Good to see ya. So I want to talk about change today. Change, there's a lot of change happening actually in RE today. Just some little things. We're splitting into two classes now for the fall, where we'll have our beginners, and then we'll have our middle grades, which for us goes from 4th to 8th grade. So class for our sort of older kids in the middle there, and then we'll have high school RE that meets at noon after the service. So, yay! So I'm very excited about all these changes, and I'm hoping there'll be changes that are, good and fun for everyone. But sometimes even good changes can make you feel kind of unsettled because you don't know what to expect. I wonder if anyone up here can think of something that maybe it's something good that you're kind of looking forward to, but can make you feel a little nervous too. Can you think of one, Calvin?
I think I'm nervous about the theaters for middle school when I'm at 4th or high school musical, and
Yeah, so moving up into middle school, it's like gonna be different from elementary school, so I could totally see being nervous about that. Do you have one?
This isn't happening to me, but if you move, you might be excited to move to a different place, but you would want to leave your other life.
Yeah, that's a great example, moving. If we think of anything else you might get kind of nervous about, Zia?
Maybe if you're gonna do, if there's something coming up that's gonna change, moving to a new school or moving to a different place, or just something at your school is different now because something happened. Maybe you're excited about that change, but it's still gonna be different and you're gonna have to adjust to it, and it can make you nervous.
Well said, yeah. I can think about things that sometimes grown-ups deal with, like when you bring a new baby into your house. That's something exciting and good, but first-time parents here, when they first had a baby, weren't sure if they knew exactly what was coming for them in that? Anyone? We're all perfectly prepared here, so perfect parents. Love to see it. But there's lots of things that can be great changes, but can also make you a little nervous. So I think something that helps me is we can think of change as like waves in the ocean, because there's always waves happening in the ocean, right? Emerson, can you do some waves for me? What would that look like? Yeah, we got some waves going on. Oh, a big one! That's a great example, because it does. Tsunami starts with a T. He knows science and spelling.
And my teacher made these rules.
I love that.
And her name's Miss Gould. So
We-
the teacher
we-
was supposed to say ba 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 ba.
Can you show me the word you have on the back?
And on the back, it says the teacher says waterfall, and the students say shh.
Oh, that's a good trick. I like that. So when we say waterfall, you all go. That's a good one. I'm going to use that one. Thank you, Emerson. But you talked about big waves, right? Can I talk about the big wave for a second? Because, a lot of waves of change, we can kind of surf them. You can go up and down with them and ride the waves forward into something new and different. But sometimes all of us face a wave of change that's so big that we just wipe out, right? Sometimes those can be some of the not so good changes, or even just big changes that we weren't quite ready for. But that's part of everyone's life. We all fall down sometimes, and that's when it's good to have a friend to encourage you, help you get back up, get into the water again to keep going. Because we can't like fight those waves, right? The waves are gonna keep coming. The ocean is bigger than all of us. But we can help each other to navigate the waves of change. And so that's what I want us to all keep doing this week. And in our lesson today, remember to encourage each other through any of the changes that we're facing. So let's go ahead, head out to RE, which I'll remind you, if we have any middle schoolers in here, is now open to up through 8th grade if you'd like to join us. And we'll sing our way out.
Let me tell you something.
Let's sing our song of blessing. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of love surround you as you go on your way. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of love surround you as you go on your way.
All right, announcement time. First announcement, as always, check your cell phones and silence them. Don't want to hear that ringtone. Now, our church is honored to always welcome visitors. Please find out more about our faith after the service right outside at the visitors table. Bring your questions and find out more about us. Sonder Choi, please come up and introduce the new UU hymnal.
Hi, everyone. Speaking of change, we have very exciting news on the music front. So you may be familiar with our colored hymnals, our original, the OG, Singing the Living Tradition, which is our gray hymnal, Singing the Journey, which is our teal hymnal, and then our Spanish hymnal, the purple hymnal, Las Voces del Camino. And so the new hymnal, you might be wondering, what color is the new hymnal? And the answer is, it has no color. Because our new hymnal, Sing Out Love, is a completely digital, living hymnal. There are songs from both the gray and teal hymnals there, but there are about 50 new songs. And it is subscription-based. We have the subscription as a church. If you're interested in signing up, Alfie needs to get your email and give you access to it. But if you want to see what's up in the new hymnal, you can email Alfie and ask for access for your email. He'll give you an access code and you can sign up for it. And this is also a living hymnal, so if there are any covert songwriters out there, there is a submission process for you to submit your song. If you feel that I just wrote a song that speaks very clearly to UU values, something that we can use in worship that you would like to share, there is a submission process online. It is Sing Out Love. You may notice in our order of service, we've slightly changed how we named these. So instead of saying Teal Hymnal like we did before, we are now going to refer to it as STJ, Singing the Journey. Okay, and STLT for the Gray Hymnal, Singing the Living Tradition. LVC for our Purple Hymnal. And then SOL, Sing Out Love, for our digital hymnal. In fact, our closing hymn today is from our digital hymnal. It's an older tune that exists in the Gray Hymnal, but it has new words. So we'll explore that later on. Okay, thank you.
Always something from our amazing music program. On October 3 to 5, you can join a fantastic service opportunity with other UU churches in California and travel to Tijuana, Mexico, and help a family build their house. This is working with Esperanza, who since 1990 have helped families in Mexico build over 1,100 homes. Please reach out to Eric Peisel, who can...
Today's the last day to sign up if you want to go. I have to tell them the names this afternoon.
Great. Thank you. Amazing opportunity. Another announcement here is the Ministerial Search Committee asks that every congregate complete the Break Barriers, Build Beliefs survey, and it's in the Thursday announcements that you get in your email. So in there, there's a little button to take the survey. Is Beth or Susan here, or anything you might want to talk about it?
I was just going to say that I'll be set up in the courtyard. If anybody has trouble with technology at home, you feel like you can't do it at home, I will help you do it up in the courtyard. But otherwise, do it at home.
Thanks, Cassie. Today there's a lot of activities, in case you didn't notice. Right after church, there's always lunches for bunches to help pack 50 lunches for our unhoused neighbors. Today there's chalice circles and introduction to chalice circles, a small, deep listening and sharing group, and it welcomes you to a brief introduction after the service, and that's going to be in the cottage. You can find out more about that going. There's a plant-based cooking demo, and that's going to be around 12:45 in Forbes Hall, right here behind me. And after today's service, here in the sanctuary, there's a special screening of Gaza Journalists Under Fire, a powerful new documentary by award-winning filmmaker Robert Greenwald. Since October 7th, 2023, at least 178 journalists have been killed in Gaza, more journalists than in both world wars combined. This film bears witness to their courage, sacrifice, and the vital role of a free press, even in the most dangerous conditions. All right, it's almost time to greet your neighbor. Before doing so, please remember to listen for Ryan's piano cue to return to worship, which we will then follow up with our music for the morning. Let's now take a few minutes, say hello, and greet those around you who are both familiar and new.
So John talked to you about a lot of the activities that are going on in our church community. I have a few things to share about the people in our community. There are lots of things happening after church today, and after you do those things at 2 o'clock, 2:30 this afternoon, two couples, members of our community, are participating in something really exciting. Barbara and Denny Kernigan and Carrie and Mike Manna are part of Dancing Through Parkinson's. They will be at the Gloria Kaufman Performing Arts Center, which is in Culver City. And this is a performance that draws from poetry, somatic improvisation, and multi-sensory practice. Dancing Through Parkinson's is a powerful production that explores the body as both vessel and voice, navigating the space between structure and surrender, constraint and creativity, shaped by the forces of gravity and grace. And so it is a juxtaposition of the many apparent contradictions as one goes through or experiences the journey of Parkinson's. So we are very proud of them for participating and for being able to engage and invite us. So we offer them light on their journey this afternoon. I am told that you don't tell dancers to break a leg. That the traditional wish of good luck is merd. So I offer them light on their journey. So Laura and Larry Weiner celebrated 25 years of marriage this summer. 30. Where are they? They're Okay, and Larry is incognito. He's got his face covered and his head covered, didn't even recognize him. So they celebrated 30 years of marriage this summer. And they also received the unexpected and unwelcome news of Laura's cancer. So she is undergoing treatment now, and so now she's suffering from the cancer and the treatment. We hold Larry and Laura in the light. Give Larry a call, give him a hug. Today after worship, text Laura and she'll let you know if she's up for talking. So Ned Wright, one of our big brains in the congregation, is recovering from surgery at UCLA Medical Center, and Patricia reports that she hopes that he will be home this afternoon. So he would appreciate contact from our community. We wish Ned a speedy and complete recovery, and we hold both Ned and Patricia in the light of our beloved community. Carl Lisowski is recovering from a week-long hospital stay. We hold him in the light. Beverly Allison has had one thing after another. She remains in a care facility nearby, and she is open for visitors and contact. We hold her in the light as well. If there are others that you know who need our thoughts, who need our prayers, who need our presence, who need our energy, who want to know that we remember them, let us know. Contact us directly or let us know if you know of someone. Because this is what community does. We come together because of our shared value of social justice, and we stay together because of our shared love and sense of community. And so we move into the portion of our service where nobody talks. And I am told that for some folks, this is the best 3 minutes of their week. And the best part of the service, which of course hurts my feelings. But it is a time to sit with your thoughts, to sit to see what Spirit has to say to you, to sit and feel the energy of this collective community. And I offer this morning some words from Mark Nepo. I moved through my days, stopped by wonder and pain, worry and surprise. With each stopping, I listen for the story, the insight, the question, or the metaphor that is my next teacher. I moved through my days, stopped by wonder and pain, worry and surprise. With each stopping, I listen for the story, the insight, the question, or the metaphor that is my teacher. This is a blessing for when the world is ending. Look, the world is always ending somewhere. Somewhere the sun has come crashing down. Somewhere it has gone completely dark. Somewhere it has ended with a gun, a knife, a fist. Somewhere it has ended with a slammed door, a shattered hope. Somewhere it has ended with the utter quiet that follows the news from the phone, the television, the hospital room. Somewhere it has ended with a tenderness that will break your heart. But listen, this blessing means to be anything but morose. It has not come to cause despair. It is simply here because there is nothing a blessing is better suited for than an ending. Nothing that cries out more for a blessing than a world that is falling apart. This blessing will not fix you. It will not mend you, nor will it give you false comfort. It will not talk to you about one door opening when another door closes. It will simply sit beside you among the shards and gently turn your face toward the direction from which the light will come, gathering itself about you as the world begins again. Each year, autumn teaches us that letting go is part of the process. The trees that are once lush and green transform into reds and oranges and yellows before the inevitable browning and falling of leaves. This natural cycle reminds us that change is a necessary part of existence. Fall in Southern California may not be as brilliant and ubiquitous as it is in New England or parts north and east, but our autumn comes, it's subtle, but it is discernible. So no matter where you are, just as the trees respond to the shifting season by changing their colors and shedding their leaves, loss invites us to notice how our lives are transforming too. We may not be the same as we were before, and that change is a natural reflection of the ways in which life continues to evolve. When I was a little girl, I lived in Rhode Island. I also lived in Boston and Maryland because we were a military family and we moved all the time. But in Rhode Island, I remember that I would walk down the street to a park that was at the end of the street. Now, at the time, I thought it was a forest. But with my adult lens and my understanding of who my mother was, it was probably just a stand of trees at the end of the street. I loved watching the leaves turn colors and fall from the trees, and I still do. I have 2 liquid ambers, they're like pseudo oak trees in front of my house, and they change sorta and fall a lot in the fall. So as a child, I would gather the leaves and my mother would help me to wax them, put them between wax paper and use an iron that you really don't want to use on clothes anymore. And what the wax would do would freeze them in time with whatever color they were in that moment. You freeze them from becoming something else. Now, in the autumn of my life, I find myself wishing that I could freeze time or freeze myself just before something happened that changed my perspective, my abilities, my life. So just as the leaves begin to turn colors and drop to the ground, most of us experience change and loss in the autumns and the winters of our lives. The question for this morning is, what can we learn from the ancestors and our community about responding to and coping with loss? I like metaphors. Some of you don't, I know, but so your metaphor will be just stick to the script. Make it plain. Metaphor for the morning. Each of us has a sack of rocks. A sack of rocks. Yes, that's what I said. Each of us has a sack of rocks. Imagine it. What does your sack look like? Okay. Some of us are able to share the load. Some of us are able to put it down for a while. Some of us, we just carry our sack of rocks everywhere because we always have. And sometimes we use the rocks that are inside the sack. We use them for throwing at things and people. Some of us use them for building altars. The question for you is, how do you navigate new pathways with your sack of rocks? And I don't know what's going on with my voice. One more leaf falling. I think there's water here. I never did this before. I know I'm supposed to preach about change. It's not supposed to happen to me. The question is, how do you navigate new pathways with your sack of rocks? What do you do when new rocks are added or the rocks have shifted and you're not dead yet? I try to remember that no matter how heavy my sack of rocks is, or at the times when my sack of rocks begins to smell like a sack of something else, I try to remember that everybody has something. Now, as always, I invite you to use your own metaphor: rocks, burdens, problems. Now, if you are a wallower, someone who feels everything deeply, you might feel like Charles Harper Webb as he talks about feeling sorry for myself in his poem. This is just the first verse. If you like it, look it up. I think it's great. I start with a groan, swelling to a moan, rising to a keen, ascending to a shriek that tapers off in a thin wail. I hug myself and whimpering rock back and forth on my heels. No one has ever known such sadness. No one can grasp how I feel. Pretty pitiful. I don't know about you, but I have often found myself there in that hard and lonely place. On the other hand, there are those who move in a different direction. They seek to only focus on the best aspects of life. And in spite of carrying their sack of rocks, they are happy. They find things to be happy about. After the fires this year, I learned that is sometimes called toxic or pathological optimism. Now, to a grouch like me, I like that. Pathological optimism, where fine is a feeling and you hear, if you can do it, I can do it. A quitter never wins. I heard this from a minister to a dying woman in the hospital. You're not going to quit on me, are you? Well, yeah, she's trying to quit. Shut up. And then there's the one, God never gives you more than you can bear. Well, I suggest that you look at the suicide rates and the mental breaks that people have to oppose that statement. And then you hear, well, I'm alive, and that's better than the alternative. Well, how do you know? So these folk may be binary thinkers, people who think that if it's not bad, then it must be good. They think in terms of opposites. The opposite of good is bad. The opposite of sick is well. The leaves are alive and green, or they're dead. One or the other, nothing in between. Now, toxic optimists are not to be confused with healthy optimists. Toxic optimists miss out on those in-between processes, the space between fine and I'm not dead yet. Like the falling leaves, a lot is going on as the leaves change color, as they get stiff and brittle and ultimately fall to the ground. So it's not what they were in the summer. They're not what they're going to be as part of the earth. They're not even on the ground yet. and yet they have a purpose in each phase. Now, I used to hold great judgment, and I know that's hard for you to imagine me being judgmental. I used to hold great judgment about people committed to only seeing the good, who cannot sit with me in my pain as I rock on my heels wailing, who want me to end my grumbling litany of all the rocks in my sack, sharing only what is good, when all I can say is, it's not all bad, and it might never get better. I've come to understand that this optimism is a path that leads them to the light because they cannot tolerate the darkness. On the other hand, I need to recognize the darkness first. It's either there, or it's coming, or it's where I came from. I understand that in the beginning, there was darkness. I understand that love separated the light from the dark and called it good. It is the darkness that allows me to appreciate the light, and so I have to acknowledge it. It is in the darkness that I find the lesson that the universe has for me today. And one of those lessons is that there will be one more lesson after another, one more friggin' learning opportunity that I did not ask for, and for which I have to work hard to appreciate. Life involves lessons. Mark Nepo told us, approach these lessons with wonder and pain, worry and purpose. Listen for the next lesson. There is no season of life that does not involve loss. But we who are in the autumn and winter of our lives, and John pointed out today that there are a number of folks who are in the spring of their lives. He said, look at that, a bunch of under 30s. But we who are way over 30 may experience more losses more frequently, and consequently more lessons, which is why we are wiser and you under 30s need to listen to us. So it's good manners and good community to learn to respond to the losses of others in ways that are meaningful to them. For example, you don't want to minimize or reduce or diminish another's losses because it silences the sharing. It diminishes the person. It sometimes renders them invisible. You don't see my pain. Don't keep telling me life is good. In this moment, it's not, because it fails to acknowledge unseen impairments. See, it's not a competition to talk about whose sack is heavier. So you don't want to tell people, oh, you're so lucky, or you should be grateful because you can have another baby, you can get married again, it was only a house, it's just a little stroke. You don't know. You don't know what you can't see. You don't know what you don't understand. You don't know what else is in that sack of rocks. So try saying, I cannot imagine what you're feeling. Or, what has the day brought you? Not, how are you feeling today, or are you recovering more today? Just, what did the day bring? What might be helpful for you today? See, losses don't come one by one, and they are often felt as a whole. You may not have noticed the first leaf or its significance. You may not realize that what looks like an overreaction is the fear of the last leaf falling. So first check yourself. Are you up to listening? Do you have the capacity to sit with someone else's pain without making it about you? As in, oh yeah, I had that, only worse. Or I know exactly how you feel. Or my aunt had the same thing and she died twice. That is usually not helpful unless you have agreed that this is going to be a mutual whining session. So if you don't have the capacity to listen, if you cannot hold the vessel for someone else's pain, if you can't distinguish between holding the vessel and being the vessel, send a card, send some flowers, send a gift card for DoorDash or audiobooks. If you can listen to someone else's pain, start with, thank you for trusting me with your feelings. And then check in with, tell me more. Is there something else that you'd like me to hear? My friend Diana recently said that there's much to understand as you find your way forward. When I was helping my mother, who died last year, I watched her adjust her personality and interactions as she was able to do less. She actually began to have more fun as she released control. With changing capabilities, she found joy in smaller and smaller moments or activities. Now, Diana and I have a 60-year friendship. We met when we were 15. She says that she's thinking about these changes, and she's encouraging me to accept that as we age, our capacities are reduced. That's a hard one for me. One of my clients said he would be happy in his life worth living if he could just eat ice cream and watch football. I got to tell you, I want more than that. And I also know that I may have to accept less. So writers call this moving from FOMO to JOMO. FOMO is fear of missing out, saying yes because you never want to miss a party. JOMO is the joy of missing out. Finding happiness in those small spaces between the rocks in your sack. Embracing the joy of missing out allows us to appreciate what we have in the moment, seeing the intrinsic value in whatever you have, no matter how many leaves have fallen from your tree. JOMO is what happens when you surrender, when you stop trying to push the river and enjoy the wonder and beauty of it flowing as it will. Now, our own Laura Weiner exudes JOMO. She got a horrible diagnosis, just ask Larry. She is physically uncomfortable, but emotionally and spiritually, she is enjoying what she calls buckets of love. Can you imagine? Buckets of love. Laura exudes optimism, unlike me. As I've been recovering from my own health crisis, I've been reminded these past weeks that most people only want to hear good news and progress. And when I share that I'm anxious and frustrated and that there has been no progress, they want to fix me instead of acknowledging that the sack of rocks I'm carrying is hard for me, at least today. I am a wallower. I sit in my grief and pain until it has passed. There is no time limit on how I feel whatever I feel because there are no expiration dates on grief. So I have to remember that everyone doesn't want to know how I feel, really. And so to you, I say, I'm fine. It's important to remember that everyone doesn't have access to people who want to help as family and community. Your loved one may be grouchy because they're surrounded by people who are not appropriate for their needs or their temperament. No matter how large your circle is, the existential truth is that each of us is on a solo journey. If you are on a journey of healing and recovery, give yourself grace and understand that it may take time, probably far longer than you think it should. And think about that last leaf on the tree. John O'Donohue says, though your destination is not clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. You can unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning on a journey that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be at home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. People want very much for us to be better. People want very much for us all to say, I'm fine, and really mean it. People are so relieved that we are not dead yet. But in between better and not dead is a wide range of symptoms and impairments, so we must give ourselves grace. We must give one another grace, the grace to appreciate the leaves as they fall around us and we fall with them. May it be so for all of us, my friends.
I'm just so honored to be up here with Kikanza. She's just always gives us so much to think about and very down-to-earth words. I really appreciate it. Thank you. We're going to talk about offering. Your offering today goes to support the work of multiple activities in the church, including Lunches for Bunches, our weekly activity of packing and delivering over 50 lunches every Sunday to our unhoused neighbors here in Santa Monica. Come and join us under the big shade structure right after the service. The other half of today's generous offering will go to the Santa Monica Area Interfaith Council. Their mission is to create a collaborative environment among peoples of all faiths through education, community activities, and interfaith dialogue. It fosters peace and justice for everyone. We invite you to contribute in whatever way feels right for you. Ways to give are displayed on the slide behind me. All the ways of receiving support are gratefully accepted. Cash or checks can be placed in the offertory bags that will be passed around shortly. Thank you for all you give, monetarily and also through your time and care at church and beyond. The ushers are invited to come forward. Your offering will now be gratefully received.
You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love.
Don't give up hope.
Don't give up hope.
You're not alone.
You're not alone.
Don't you give up.
Don't you give up.
Keep moving on.
Keep moving on.
You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front of the other and lead with love. Lift up your eyes.
Lift up your eyes.
Don't
Don't you despair.
Look up ahead.
Look up ahead. See,
The path is there.
the path is there.
You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front of the other and lead with love. I know you're scared.
I know that you're scared,
Scared too.
and I'm scared too.
But here I am.
But here I am, yes,
Next to you.
right next to you.
You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front
Please rise in body or in spirit for our closing hymn, which is from Sing Out Love. It is a familiar tune with new words, so we will do a call and response version of this new hymn as we carry this flame forward. As we carry this flame forward, we hold true to what we know. As we carry this flame forward, we leave space for us to grow. As we carry this flame forward, we hold true to what we know. As we carry this flame forward, we leave space for us to grow. This flame represents a place where all are valued, all belong. With this flame we speak to power, with this flame we join in song. This flame represents a place where all are valued, all belong. With this flame we speak to power, with this flame we join in song. As we carry this flame forward, hand in hand we heed the call to do justice, kindness, mercy, equity, and peace to all. As we carry this flame forward, hand in hand we heed the call to do justice, kindness, mercy, equity, and peace to all. This flame represents a people found in every faith and creed, people who commit to serving all their neighbors and their needs. This flame represents a people found in every faith and creed, people who commit to serving all their neighbors and their needs. As we carry this flame forward, it goes with us as a light. As we carry this flame toward a new world, our future's bright. As we carry this flame forward, it goes with us as a light. As we carry this flame forward, a new world, our future's bright. This flame represents a promise, one we make with the divine. A new world we are creating, we can make tomorrow shine. This flame represents a promise, one we make with the divine. A new world we are creating, we can make tomorrow shine.
Once again, we thank everyone who helped to put this service together. And I remind you to let someone know how much you appreciate them. This service is over. Our service to ourselves, our community, and the world continues. We extinguish the flame about which we have just sung, knowing that we carry the flame in our hearts and we share the light and warmth of this flame to everyone around us. We go knowing that everybody is dragging a sack of rocks, and they just may be kind of grouchy today because it's so full. Go in peace, my friends.